Down low again, didn't stop him last time. Faze grouping for the A play, but this walk through water is going to catch them very quickly.
Well, Carrigan said before this, he knew they like to play a Wolfpack style. They like this grouped counter-strike. Might have been aware of that coming in, but it's not made dealing with these group plays any easier.
One more though.
It's a blinder of a shot from Simple, but they still don't know just how many players have crept through their back line. Faze are going to try battle forward. Simple hit a real nice shot to open this up, but he's going to need 4 more of them. Nadeful's just shy of punishing this player up in heaven for now. Exit gets to stay alive. Breno not so lucky, and Exit tries to swing and lend a helping hand. Simple's dropped that bomb across, and that frees him up to go back and hold on a main. Simple's not missing right now. That's the 3rd kill in this round from Faze's AWP. Are they ready for safe? 1 kill in the game so far. You've been waiting for a Simple highlight. You've been waiting to feel his impact in the server. When this smoke fades, another chance could arrive for Simple. He's been spotted though. Safe has this info. Safe knows that he's pinned in at the fountain. Frozen gonna swing out first. He's got Simple's back.
We can always win. I don't care how.
So I got the worst of both worlds. I was both wrong about Faze losing to MIBR, and I didn't progress through stage 2 of the major pick'ems. It's kind of a bummer. Lin Vision defeated Bait, and I'm still at bronze, guys. It's pretty bad. I think I might get silver from making my picks for stage 3, though, so good for me for logging into the game. But what we saw from Faze today was a complete change from the previous 2 days, and a great response to the video I made analyzing their 2 best of 3s against Legacy and against 3D Max. And it's pretty exciting as they progress up to stage 3 of the major. So just want to go through some of the things that went on in today's game, today's match, and I'll show you some of the cool rounds, and then just sort of talk you through how the match went. So the start, we started with Anubis, which was MIBR's pick, and MIBR started on the CT side, Faze on the T. The game started out pretty... It's back and forth as far as the scoreboard goes. They went 4-4 through the first 8 rounds. And MIBR was looking very good, especially for starting on the CT side. On Anubis, T side is generally thought to be more favored. The CTs have to really force aggression, and MIBR are very good at that. MIBR very clearly have great individuals and very strong team play and good protocols. We'll see that later in the match as well. Faze looking a little weak to those early lurks. They should be expecting it. It's Anubis, that's the meta, but Elige getting punished in mid. Another thing that happened was Insani had a crazy 1v2 retake, found the perfect timing. We'll see that right here.
Deals with both players up in heaven. That's a huge push through from Frozen. It's Insani left to beat. 1 versus 2 rolled out in front of him, and he has hit this golden timing. He's made it past Frozen and Rain.
If he went, 2 backs turned.
They have no idea he's here. That's the double lined up. Insani plays it to perfection. Finds that tiny window, that tiny gap, and cuts down Faze Clan in the clutch.
So we get to this point, 4-4. Faze win 1 round to go up 5-4, and they get into a tough spot, a 2v5. You saw it at the beginning of the video. Simple absolutely comes through for Faze at the perfect moment. It's exactly what Faze need. And Kerrigan sums it all up with a quote right after the round. "We can always win. I don't care how." And this is the moment where I immediately saw a change for Faze. And you could see it in the next 2 rounds easily. They got their swagger back. They were pushing sites confidently. They were being very careful with their protocols. It's interesting how the confidence actually made them less likely to make mistakes. They were just thinking in a more present manner as opposed to the previous best of threes where when they were losing, they were just playing scared and not even really thinking at a high level. But as soon as they win that retake, it is game-changing for them. And what that round does is it saves their half. They were about to tie it up 5-5 if MIBR were able to close that round, but instead, FaZe are able to turn the half into 8-4 for them and absolutely save what could have been a disaster on the T side of Anubis. Coming into the second half of Anubis, FaZe start off with a huge 5v5 retake or something close to that, and ultimately get the defuse and start the second half right.
Game is far from over. Game is far from done, and this pistol round closes the gap up very nicely for MIBR if it comes through. Breno trying to take aggression up into the heavens, will get overran. Simple and Rain pry open this site for the retake. FaZe are chomping at the bit, moving in. Insani falls next. Faze trying to hold on, he's got 1 kill. Gets his second there and leaves Exit in this clutch. This guy was very impactful in that first half. A lot of the rounds that MIBR found can be attributed to Exit, but not this pistol. Frozen and Elige lock the doors.
They kept their focus, and they kept their momentum, and they started to build a lead. And this is where MIBR's aggression started to hurt them. It became readable, and FaZe were able to just set up for MIBR to play the most aggressive, most space-taking style. And because FaZe weren't playing scared, they were set up in positions to get the frags and end the rounds before they got started. We also saw the individuals, Simple, Rain, and Frozen, with the confidence, step up and start adding to their total on the scoreboard. And FaZe caught the momentum and rode the wave to the end of Anubis. So, now, after this half, after that turning point, FaZe have an example of the mentality that they needed in that moment to win. They just need to be able to replicate that on the next map, as we see, which they win, and they need to also be able to replicate it when other teams get lucky and take rounds from them, and they need to be able to get back on the horse. They can't always rely on something magical just happening. They need to have that mentality and let the magic come after. The next thing I'll say before the next map is if FaZe plays with confidence and experience and the fraggers are just decent, all of the things that were lacking in the previous 2 best of 3s in the major so far, is that maps like Ancient, Inferno, and Anubis all become unlocked for them because those maps don't require the most powerful fragging across the map at all times. It just requires you to get the necessary kills when you need to take the site or when you need to defend, and otherwise you can rely on your experience to get you through. If FaZe play like they did following the formula from the Anubis map, they can absolutely dominate all 3 of those against a lot of teams, even those who are right now ranked higher than them. The other thing is that if they use confidence and their experience, it will set up the fraggers to be in positions to just take over the rounds. When they're not playing with confidence and they're playing not to lose, it puts those fraggers in a position where they don't feel like they can go out and just take risks and rely on themselves because they feel like they need to be there for the team. It's a little bit of a paradox, but that extra confidence, it prevents you from making the mistakes, and it allows you to play to your full potential. The other thing that we saw, especially after that magical not retake, but magical 2v5, Kerrigan starts to consistently become loud and energetic throughout the whole match. And that's what we need to see. Kerrigan can't just be loud when they win the odd round. He needs to be loud the whole time and lead from the front and show the rest of the team the mentality that they need. Now we get to the second map, Ancient. This was a great map. Both teams have some really great rounds, great late round scenarios, good team play, and it was very entertaining to watch. If you're the type of person who likes to go back and watch games that you missed, this Ancient second map was terrific. Now, Ancient coming in was Faze's map pick. Faze started off on the T side, and they start off pretty confidently. The rounds aren't perfect, but in the end, Faze keep things under control and string, I believe, 3 or 4 rounds together towards the start of the map. In fact, in round 4, Simple, defending the B site against the retake, delivers a really great 3K. It's not the most flashy, but you'll see it here, and he does some pretty good work.
Even slow the roll of Faze for a second. That would be very valuable, but he's flashed off the line. MIBR now move in. Backstab's being accounted for, and it's frozen on the angle. He gets bested. It's a very high-impact player removed, and Sani double kill at 1 HP brings MIBR in for a retake. They have no business winning.
So how's he doing? He's not even trying to go for this right now. It's a call to save already been made because MIBR are stuck in the cave. Kowsey moves in very slowly, but this bomb is already half gone. The flash turns crosshairs back. Simple lines him up. He needs the round, and he's got it. All 3 for Simple, saving that eco.
Then, in the very next round, MIBR are on another retake, and they show off team play very well. It's clear that MIBR have a lot of practice together and have some really good protocols in the retake. We'll even see it when they're on their T side as well, especially for Ancient. It seems as though they were very capable of taking this map. I mean, they get to OT, but check out this retake and how they get it done.
Uh-oh.
Chance shot on the AWP. But nothing connects for safe. MIBR not given any reason to want to go for this. Another round where Kowsey's not budging from the extremities. Are they going to try and go for this late? Flash out through the spawn. They go fishing. Elige picked up. Simple also bested, but there's layers to this. It's going to fall on a frozen, but a lot of times ticked off this bomb already. Tap on it, safe. Nail shots on this AWP. And that's how MIBR to get on the board.
After this round, this is where we start to see MIBR take their play up a level, but we don't see Faze's level drop, and this is what makes it a great game because they start to go back and forth. Faze has some solid site takes, and MIBR just aren't able to retake. We see a round where they are able to retake because Safe plays ahead of the numbers and gets 2 easy op picks, which gives MIBR the man advantage. Then we see an interesting double save from Faze where they technically could have forced into either round, especially the second, but in the second where they just buy some SMGs, they rush B and just assert their dominance on the map. It's looking like Faze might be able to have a similar scoreline to the first half of the Anubis game. Then, in the last 2 rounds, MIBR go up another level and sneak away the final 2 points of the half to close the gap and make the scoreline 5-7. The first one, Breno capitalizing on a small mistake from Simple, pulling out a nade as he's coming out of A main, and he's able to get a 2K. And then on the second round, just a great B site defense as the T's are wrapping from Red Room. Safe is actually able to get a collateral, and the other CTs are able to push down ramp and catch the rest of the T's on Speedway. Just really solid play on the CT side and keeping the game close, which is super cool. Starting the second half, we get some incredible rounds. First, Insani and Lukowski with an incredible defense on the retake. They're able to execute great protocol and get off a diffuse denying molly, and they're able to take that round. Then, on the very next round, they plant on A. Kerrigan comes swinging in from elbow. He gets 2, but Breno is able to go 1v3 and get the second to tie things up at 7-7. So first, let me show you that pistol round, and then I'll show you the 1v3.
Kerrigan tries to take one out of the round before that bomb is planted. Util in, that will do damage. Exit looking worse for wear.
Nowhere to go.
Right now, trapped out on this island, and Sani tries to hang around and help him as a result. This is going to leave 2 players out in the open for MIBR, and so Insani starts to back off now. Exit has to fend for himself, and he can't stay alive long. Molly dropped in to deny this defuse, but it's been forced out very, very early. And so sure, it keeps them off it for now, but the gunfights have to come through for MIBR. 2 on 4. Insani can't quite find this angle. Lukowski dead, and Insani finds the kill with seconds to spare. Kerrigan on it, but it doesn't feel like there's time. Insani and Lukowski deliver for MIBR.
Not gonna happen. Frozen safeguards his sight. They come for him, they find him, and they've got room to plant.
Kerrigan's called for a flash. He's coming through this. Wow. Right into the site. Kerrigan flashed in. And just 1 man remains. Breno makes matters interesting as he brings it down to this 1v1.
Ollie.
Been a slow series from Breno. He's got Rain left to beat, who's closed the distance up close with this SMG. Rain can't run rings around him. It's Breno with the 1v3.
After this, MIBR are able to string a couple rounds together. You know, they play an anti-eco. And then they just are playing Ancient the correct way on T side. They're pushing up mid, and they're able to play great late round scenarios. They're patient, waiting for Faze to maybe go for an info play, and just closing out rounds the easy way. Then, on B site, MIBR are looking like they're going to concede a round. They're 2v4, but in an incredible retake, Insani throws a Molotov that just barely denies Faze the defusal. They have 3 players alive, and they aren't able to do it. It's just, check it out.
4v2, blink and you miss it. Faze have the bomb.
Yeah, walking in up through ramp right now. He might fall getting nothing done here though. On an off angle, he gets cleared out. Insani opens up a path to the bomb plant. A 2 versus 4 as this begins. No chance of the spam to connect. They know about Kerrigan back in the cave. It's planted for long. That's the position they're going to go fight for. The only man coming from this side of the map is Frozen late through this smoke. That's info for MIBR. The only question mark right now is Elige. He's the one guy they don't know the whereabouts of. A lot of times ticked off this bomb already. Faze just aren't being given the kills. Molly now put down on that bomb, but the gap closed. That Molotov might have done enough. That last second Molly lobbed in means Faze can't defuse. They can't get there in time. And so MIBR, the streak continues.
MIBR have started the half 6-0, and it looks like we might just get a third map. But Faze's defense starts to come together, and we start to see the individuals pop off. Frozen with some great impact on the A site. Up on the boost, he's able to get a 2K. He's able to get a 2K in 2 rounds, as well as we get impact from Simple. He's able to get a couple multi-frags, and then in another round, we get both of them getting 1 frag, but at that point, 3v5, MIBR are forced to save with rifles, and they can't do it. MIBR are now in another position where their aggression is causing them to lose. So they need to play around slow and not run into the meat grinder. And I believe out of a timeout, they deliver on that. They sit in CT spawn almost to probably the 120-second mark and come up with a great round where they're able to push up mid, and Faze is playing so defensive without any info plays that they get up into red room and converge on the B site. They put it up to 11, and it looks like we're about to go to a third map. Faze have 2 chances to send it into OT. In the second to last round of the map, Kerrigan provides a huge push coming through A main to give Faze all the info they need to stack B. And Frozen and Kerrigan both go 2 for 1, and they're able to get it to the final round of regulation. And MIBR do the classic decision. They rush B and go up 5v3, but Elige magically at the bottom of the ramp goes massive and just barely gets the defuse. Check it out.
He'll do it on his own.
Look, this B site has felt problematic at times. It's going to get tested here in the final round of play, the final round of regulation. MIBR with nothing but Tech 9s, and this one hero gun are searching for the victory here and now. They think their way in is past Rain at this B hole.
Oh no.
Kerrigan dead first. And Faze left on the back foot.
The smoke.
They're going to backstab Rain. They have full control. Elige arrives fast up through ramp. 3 versus 3. Full chaos, full speed. Flash in. And Elige and Frozen hit the go button now. Simple giving chase right from behind them. Nothing open. MIBR are peaking, not going too soon. Important trade from Simple, but it's kept the numbers even. Insani overran. Faze have just got to find this last player, this last man. Lukowski unaccounted for on that swing. This is the chance for MIBR. Lukowski spammed to death. And Elige, it's going to be so close. But he's got it. Elige keeps the dream alive.
So, Faze have now won 2 rounds in a row to force it into overtime. In the first round, Simple gets 2K on the B site to get the numbers advantage, and Faze are able to just barely get the retake. Exit tries to throw another retake Molotov, and it's just 1 second too early, and Elige is able to get the defuse for the first round of OT.
Considering bringing the fight right now. Ollie's forced them forward. Simple still strikes first and gets out with another kill. They're going to try and test him again. Insani will get past him. Is he ready for a player up close? Yes, he is. This B-hold picked apart by the Brazilian star.
No smokes. Gotta fight your way in.
Flash out over on long. Rain is so blind. That's given them room. That's given them the path to get this bomb planted. 3 versus 5, and the gap's still closing with that bomb down. Insani is tagged up. If he can manage even one more, he has played one hell of a part in this round. But he's so low, he's so wounded. How does Insani get out of this with any more? 4 points of health, the spam connects. It comes down to this Molotov. There's no smoke to deny this. It's not going to entirely win you the round, but it certainly puts the pressure on. There is still this kit for Frozen and Elige.
Oh, no.
Spam has to connect, and it will come through, but the wrong way. Elige denies. FaZe Clan take the first in OT.
And at this point, MIBR looks like they're mentally broken. This game has been so back and forth. They've been playing at such a high level, so many retakes on both sides, and they just can't do it. And FaZe proceeds to win the other two rounds on the CT side, and they win the final round on T side in overtime to win the map 16-12. They were able to follow the formula from the first map, and they showed a lot of tenacity. Because the second map was so back and forth, and FaZe still played almost every round with the conviction that they need to beat the teams in stage 3 of the major. They need to play like they believe that they are top 5 in the world. Otherwise, they will be below top 10 in the world. It's interesting how binary it is, but that's just the way that I think these veterans and their mentalities, and I think something about Kerrigan's mentality as well, that's just something that works for them. Probably with Kerrigan's calling as well. He calls a very loose style that relies on the veteran confidence. If they're not able to use that to the full extent, it's just not going to bring the system together. So FaZe did very well to utilize that in the second map. And it's exciting because FaZe were able to follow the formula. And if they follow the formula, they can beat the best teams in the world. They can absolutely beat a Spirit if they played like they played today. Now, against Mouse, against Vitality, now there's some, combination of team play and calling and fragging that I don't know if FaZe are ready for quite yet, but there's a lot of potential in what we saw today. We'll just have to see it against better teams. And it's frustrating now because as we go into the third stage, I'm reminded that there's 2 more sets of best of ones. And as we've seen through the first 2 stages, best of ones are a complete randomizer. It makes qualifying super easy for some teams and impossible for other teams because of you can be anywhere after the 2-0. You can be in the 0-2 stage and you can be at the 2-0 stage. And the difference between winning 1 best of 3 and winning 3 cannot be understated. It's not just that the best of ones are a bad it's not just that the best of ones are random. It's that the best of ones puts you into just an absolute blender of best of 3s. It's like random that's super easy to get through or super easy to have any outcome, and then it's just magic. It's just so much harder at the end. And it makes things tough to predict, and it makes it tough to read teams because a best of one, it's so much easier just to win one map and to think, I just have to win this one map. It makes you play in a slightly different style. After the map, we see Kerrigan and Simple get on the desk, and they have a really good interview. Both Kerrigan and Simple seem to correctly identify that they were feeling lost and just feeling, like they didn't know what they were doing, and that they just were overwhelmed by the games after the Legacy loss. They say that specifically. And Simple especially, I was super impressed by what Simple said. It seemed like he has a really good grasp of already a lot of the things that I mentioned in my last video about why FaZe were not playing well. And he even talks about how he is noticing and calling out individual mistakes and how it's weird because he's new to the team, but he is noticing these things. And I mean, even if he hasn't been playing like fragging the most, his experience in eye test is clearly something special. It's a vision for the game that he naturally has that definitely is able to call out in-game mistakes and has the authority. It also seems like he was talking about how he was providing leadership for the team before this game, that the night before he was saying, like, let's not play, like, let's just talk about real life. And that's super cool. I feel like I've kind of been a simple hater, and watching that interview made me, want him to do well at this major, which I didn't before because I do like Brokey a lot. And then on the desk, they see that their next match coming up is against Aurora in the best of one. Now, this is going to be pretty cool. I'm calling it a BFT, a big fucking test, because while the outcome, it's going to be a little bit irrelevant still in my mind because it's a best of one, Faze have a lot that they can prove. I mean, Aurora is no slouch when it comes to how Faze have been playing up until today, and it seems like if they're able to win that confidently like they did the best of ones in stage 2, that it will be very exciting, because that will show promise as to what the ceiling is on this major performance. Perhaps playoffs. Now, they've only beaten MIBR and 2 best of ones. Okay, that's why it's a big fucking test, because we have to see it against a team that is rated higher before we can say that Faze are so back. We have to wait and see. But yeah, not excited about the best of ones. I mean, hey, look at all the best of ones. I mean, I'm sure you already have and filled out your coin, but so you probably know you can't predict any of them. All of the teams. I mean, Liquid could lose to Lin Vision. Come on, guys. They could. If Liquid are playing at their floor level and Lin Vision are playing at their ceiling level, I mean, you can't pick that. I mean, even Legacy and Vitality, you would say it's got to be Vitality, but in a best of one, who's to say? So, I hope the best of ones, I think something's got to be done about it, especially when there's 3 Swiss stages. I mean, it's just so much. Every time we return back to the best of ones, it's like, well, here we go again. I can't wait to see, Mao's 0-2. I mean, I might pick Mao's to go 0-3. I haven't done my pick'ems yet, but that seems like something I might do. So, thanks for watching, guys.